senseless acts don't have much reason, and it's hard to understand. So maybe the best we can do with that experience is not to try and understand all the bad things that happen, but more in our response. Words are not sufficient in times like this, but what we do is that we try to reach out hand to hand, heart to heart. Our congregation wanted to respond, but it's difficult when your hearts are broken to know what to say. But our church makes little prayer shawls for people who are suffering. We share those in our congregation, and we wanted to bring a letter of support and love and bring 6 prayer shawls to the temple today.
They're hand knit by the members of our congregation, and it's a way to kind of remind people that we in God's love is wrapped around them when they're going through suffering.
This is from our church. The ladies made it for you, and they give it to you in peace and in the hope of healing.
ਇਹ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਤਮਾ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਮਿਲੇ।
In so many ways, we are one people, one community of faith, looking for the same things, for peace, and want to work for peace and for justice, and to share the redemptive nature of love. Unfortunately, there are those whose hearts are bitter, whose eyes do not see the tapestry of God's presence among us. But that's still our calling, is to provide that justice and that healing for all peoples. Sometimes words fail us, fail me, and we wanted to give something concrete to remind her of the words we wish we could say.
ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਮੂੰਹੋਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਬੰਦੇ ਲਈ ਪੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ ਵੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ।
I see in this community, and certainly in the Christian community, in the pastors, ministers, clergy that I've spoken with, and certainly with our congregation, we have a greater sense of obligation, a greater sense of call and duty to work for what this temple stood for and still stands for. It doesn't mean that we can't be angry. It doesn't mean that we don't weep, but it means that we, in due season, find time and remember what we're here for and what we're fighting for. We remember the values that are embedded in this temple, the values that are embedded in our church, and we will hold to those, and we won't let one horrific act of evil do away with that.
I think what I was most impressed with, even initially, the emotion coming out of the Sikh community and out of the temple was really one of love and peace and not accusing and just very loving. And it's something we've devoted our lives to, is believing in God and loving our neighbors. And so I've seen a lot of, I don't know if they've come here, but a lot of love expressed towards the community, and that has been very heartwarming to me, to think that for every one evil person, I'm hoping there's hundreds and thousands of very loving people.
Only I knew that how much I loved my mom, you know, at one point, and then now it's like, wow, like I see how much the world loved my mom, you know. It's just amazing to see the kind of support that we've gotten from everybody.
We are one.
Indeed, we are. And we may not be one in understanding, but we're one in our response.